all know what took place from 1941 to 1945, the Holocaust. One of the few names that everyone recognizes from this time period is Anne Frank. This young, hopeful diarist helps historians and people just like you and I learn more about the Holocaust by keeping her one and only diary. Anne was one of over 1 million Jewish children who died during the Holocaust, but unfortunately, Anne and her sister Margot both died of typhus in March of 1945, just a few weeks before the Allied troops liberated the camps. Throughout Anne's diary, she exhibited so much hope and faith for the future during a time when so many others had lost their own. Generations of readers have found themselves relating to the figure of Anne Frank. As readers move through her diary, Anne illustrates the horrors of the Holocaust and teaches those readers to never allow this to be repeated. These 3 reasons are why I nominate Anne Frank to the World Hall of Fame. During the time that Anne and her family hid in an Amsterdam apartment shared with 5 other Dutch Jews, the Van Pels family, and a dentist named Fritz Pfeffer, Anne shined with hope. Anne not once gave up. She believed the entire time that everything would go back to the way things were before the Nazis even came. When time came around for Hanukkah, she insisted on celebrating, singing, and handing out her handmade presents. Even in this horrible situation that they were in, Anne somehow found happiness and reason to celebrate. One of the amazing characteristics about this young woman was her positive outlook on things. She was always happy, positive, and somehow grateful for where she was. She saw herself as being lucky, as she had a place to hide, food to eat, and her family was with her. Anne also never gave up on her dream of becoming a journalist or an actress. By keeping a diary in a way, she fulfilled her dream of becoming a journalist by telling her stories of the Holocaust. For me, Anne Frank is one of the most relatable teen girls in history or literature. While reading her diary, you begin to grow up with her. You see Anne from being the awkward 13-year-old girl, which causes her to rebel against her mother, and then you see her as a serene 15-year-old young woman. You are there every time you think that they've been discovered, when the food is running out, and finally when the Nazis come for them. I've honestly learned so much from reading her diary. I believe I've grown along with her. Anne was given her diary by her father, Otto Frank, right after they moved into the apartment. By keeping a diary, she reveals the horrors of the Holocaust and teaches us to never allow this to be repeated. She describes to you the explosions at night right above them. She tells you the fright of hearing the Nazis at night, the click of their heels by roaming the streets. You pray as they pray that they don't see or hear the hidden families. By bringing us into her life through her diaries, Anne makes us feel like we know what it's like to be a scared, hidden girl, and therefore I never want to see a horror like this ever happen again. What happened from 1941 to 1945 will never be forgotten, all because of Anne Frank's diary. Anne never thought that by writing in her diary, she would help so many people about the terrible Holocaust. Throughout Anne's diary, she shined with hope and faith for the future during a time when so many others lost theirs. Generations of readers have found themselves relating to Anne Frank as readers move through her diary and shows the horrors of the Holocaust and teaches these readers to never allow history to repeat itself. These 3 reasons why I nominate Anne Frank to the World Hall of Fame. In a dark, dusty apartment hidden from prying eyes, Anne soon learned of the evil Nazi lies. She fell in love with a tall boy named Peter, who came to realize no longer did he hate her. Held on to spite instead of fear, but never made it past her 15th year. From truth of horror we cannot turn, truly deserving of remembrance, honor, and high rank, we commend Otto and Edith Anne Frank.